broke easy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I hit the other side hard. I just need to get the lift arms in there is all. Yeah. Oh, wow on that. See how hard I hit the other side? The sucker like didn't break at all. Like. Here messing around with this S10 frame. It's actually out of like a 2001 or 2 S10 Blazer. However, we're gonna bag it, put a 4-link in it, airbag it, get to sit pretty flat on the ground, and then we're gonna put a 48 Chevy car on it from our buddy Mario. He's been in here working on it. He's got the leaf springs out of it, got the rear cross member out of it, and he's got the rear sway bar out of it. Been cutting on it with the cutting wheel, trying not to damage the frame. Looks like we're probably going to unhook the e-brake, flip the axle over, cut these perches off, and then we got to take the hangers off. We're probably going to use these again, so we'll save those. Not sure about this cross member. Unbolted the Trinity cross member, it's laying up there, and this one here will probably come out as long as we've got that one and that one. I think will be okay as far as holding the frame together. Then we'll put the small block Chevy 350, Turbo 350. We got a bunch of parts for there, and our 4-links and airbags and stuff are back there. So hopefully we will get this thing going and try to keep you guys updated on the progress. We got the axle out of this thing, flipped it over, pulled the e-brake and stuff off, and then slid the axle out. What we're going to do is we're going to come back in here with the cutting wheel. I'm going to try to cut this well without getting into my axle housing. And we'll clean this up through here. Then we got our center of our axle marked out 117. So if we'll put our C-notch in here, our bag mounts, and then we'll cut the back of the frame off here. We're going to have to extend it out for the trunk pan in our car, but we had to move the axle back, and we're going to do that with the 4-link. So this thing's going to be linked and airbagged, and all we got to do is move the axle back, weld it into where we want it to be. So it's kind of the next step, get that axle cleaned up, and we're going to mock everything up. Mario's doing a little grinding on the frame. So we've got our notch here we're going to put together. So I just kind of tack these together, 2 sides. And then we'll set this over the frame and trim these up however far they need to be. We got one notch tacked, more or less tacked together and in place. I think on this side we'd marked out a dot, kind of centered them up. That side we're going to get a little more technical, do a bunch more measuring, make sure both notches are sitting even on the frame to each other. And then so we got the axle cleaned up, top and bottom, just about ready to put our bag mounts on and our lower link mounts in. And then we got to run our bottom links out to there. Pretty much it. Got it cleaned up, more or less just ready to weld and kind of get everything mocked up and then welded in solid. I'm gonna call it a day. It's too darn hot. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. tacked in, our front brackets cut down, we had to go get a piece of metal. Basically what we're going to do here is run, we can't weld to this is cast, so we're going to bring a little bit of a bridge over, something kind of like that, and hook our link bars, upper link bars to it, and then we'll figure out our front mounts. We're going to get this down here because it doesn't matter where we mount it there. We want to make sure it's mounted on the axle. And we got our bags, brackets ground down, cleaned up, and put together. So once we get the links, upper links in, and then the rear end ain't going to go nowhere, we'll cut those loose, figure out where we need to mount our bags as far as the notch against the bag bracket against the notches, and that'll pretty much be it for the day. So we'll start this again tomorrow. Back here working on the S10 frame, about 100 degrees in here too. So far I've got the bridge built for over the top of the third member. I think what we'll do is we're going to kind of cut or flatten this flange out and then come up here basically with a piece of metal of some sort, like an angle iron or something, and come over the top of that, bolt it here, and then bolt it here, and that'll give this a little more strength. I don't think that it would really go too far. It is only a one wheel peel and just a standard small block. I'm kind of a light car, so I don't think it'll get a lot of traction. We'd rather be safe than sorry. Modified, cut our 4-link brackets down that they sent us, even though they are kind of rubbing. That's how they get them from eBay anyway. It's just a cheap eBay kit. I got the bottom 4 links in and welded in. We need to do some welding, but we got everything tacked in pretty darn good. So I think the next step is going to be putting our airbags. I ended up leaving the strap that comes on these on, keep them smashed, and then we'll go. They're gonna go. Or just about like that, and we're going to end up welding those pretty much right directly on the top of that notch, sliding this back and forth, trying to get it to fit the best I can, but it kind of gives you the idea of where that's going to be. I'm just going to double check to make sure everything looks good. We're good here, got the same distance on each side, so our bags will be sitting just about like that on both sides. And then the back will be more or less done, other than taking it apart, welding it up, completely welding all the brackets on, and paint. So we get those bags mounted on there and see where we're at. If we get that done by the end of the day, would be cool. So we got the 4-link in, we got it welded up, so you gotta do some more welding on the actual link purchase up front, and then we gotta pull the axle, roll it over, and weld up our link brackets on the bottom. We just wanted to make sure everything was good before we got too carried away. We went ahead and welded in the upper bag mounts and the mounts for the lower bag mount to the axle. We've got it sitting here on a jack. Basically, it lays the frame in the back. The reason we have it on a jack, because that's a 24-ish inch tire, maybe 25 with tread. We're going to run about a 30-inch tire. So we're about 3 inches or so off the ground. That will give us a 5 to a 6-inch taller tire. So hopefully the tire will be hitting the ground right about the same, or the bags bottom out about the same time the frame does with a taller tire. And that's kind of about all we got done for today. I said earlier it's hot, pretty darn smoky out. We got a big fire west of us. You can see it's really welcome summertime in Oregon. However, not too bad in here, but it is about 100 degrees, a little after 5. I'm gonna call this a day, and we get working on it some more tomorrow.